So sometime last week I went out on a photography adventure and I released a video where I was out during Storm Kira with my camera, and it was carnage, it was pretty manic, but it was a hell of a lot of fun, and I think it's kind of ignited a little bit of a passion, or reignited a passion that I have for coastal photography. I've always loved it. I love being out on the seaside with my camera, and it's where a lot of it all started for me down in New Zealand with my landscape photography. But you know, I spend a lot of, if you watch this channel regularly, you'll know I spend a lot of time in the Lake District, in places like Scotland and kind of mountainous areas basically. But yeah, last week just really made me realise, I miss being out on the coast with my camera, and that's kind of what this evening's adventure is going to be about as well. So I haven't got many expectations for the evening photography wise. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, but I also mentioned in that video as well that I've got an exhibition coming up this summer, and I wanted to get some more shots in the Lancashire area because my exhibition is going to be in the city of Lancaster, or around the city of Lancaster, not necessarily the county of Lancashire, but I just think it'll fit better with my exhibition. So that's something else that I'm going to try today as well. I'm in a place called Heysham, which is in the county of Lancashire, and it's very close to Lancaster. Actually, from certain areas in Heysham, because it's quite hilly, you can see Lancaster itself. So yeah, a little bit of a coastal photography. Like I say, not too many expectations, not too much pressure, but I'm very excited to be here. So let's crack on. So we've actually got some quite nice light this evening, which admittedly was a little bit unexpected. We're in between storms. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, I was out during Storm Kira there last week, and then coming up in about 3 days from now is Storm Dennis. So I'm trying to make the most of this little lull that's in between them, where we haven't really got too much wind at all, and we've got light, which is fantastic. So the lights just died down in saying that, but I have already grabbed the shot where we had some nice sort of golden tones, which is awesome. So I've got the long lens on the front here, and I'm zoomed in at 200mm, and I'm trying to utilise the sort of compression effect that you generally get from a long lens. So I'm zoomed right back there towards the Cumbrian Mountains, back towards Helvellyn. I said at the start of the video that I'm in the mountains too much, and I wanted to try something different, and here's me photographing the fells over there. Last night, or maybe yesterday during the day, we had a real dumping of snow over on the fells, and they're just absolutely cracking subjects off there in the background, and I'm trying to make the most of that. And as I'm zoomed in over towards or over across Morecambe Bay there, we've got these beautiful rocks that are kind of jutting out a little bit, and I think they're mimicking the mountains off in the background really, really nicely. And we've got a real interesting sky there as well. Another thing that I quite like about this is, I'm just going to grab a shot there quickly, it's looking quite nice. The tide's gone out. The tides at Morecambe Bay, if you don't know the area, are crazy. They're actually really, really dangerous, but they move so quickly. So the tide's on its way out at the minute, which is why I'm feeling confident to be stood quite far out on the beach from the land. But it's gone out so quickly. Honestly, I've been here setting up 5 or 10 minutes, and it must have gone out like 30 or 40 metres. It's so quick, which is fantastic for us, as landscape photographers. It means this is all so changeable. So something else I'm going to try and make the most of this evening. But yeah, there's nothing really too much else to this shot, guys, to be honest. The telephoto effect, that compression effect, is working really nicely. The settings I'm shooting at ISO 100 f9, and I'm getting 1/320th of a second, so in many ways I don't really need the tripod. It's just helping me compose and set up and keep it all nice and chilled out and relaxed, which, like I said, this evening is all about. So yeah, a decent little shot to start off the evening. Okay, so you probably won't be able to see too much behind me because it's incredibly overexposed looking back towards the sun. But that's actually the direction that I just shot that ferry, and I think that's also the direction I want to focus on for the next photograph because it's looking absolutely gorgeous. We've got some beautiful dramatic clouds over there, and yeah, drama's definitely the best word to describe what's going on. We've got some nice light, and I think we're about 45 minutes till sunset as well, so as long as the clouds play ball, everything over there should only get better. Now, one thing that I really like, and I figured this out quite quickly, is as the tide has receded back outwards, it's left this sort of thin layer of water across the sand, and for us that's given us some gorgeous reflections. Even though it's still fairly windy, I don't think there's enough water on that surface to for too many ripples to be created, which again just gives us some beautiful reflections. So that's definitely something that I want to work with, and I'm thinking I'm going to get the 16 to 35mm lens out, definitely shoot in that direction like I said, and try and get something a little bit abstract. Right, so I'm set up, and it's not really going to plan, to be honest, with the light. It's in these situations when you've got quite a lot of cloud up there, especially when it's low cloud, even if you've got loads of space in the sky where there isn't cloud, it can just go one way or the other, and in this case it looks like it's actually being snuffed out a little bit, the light. Now when this happens, I then start turning to the actual sunset. Rather than thinking about the light, how can I capture that beautiful dramatic light, when it looks like it's going to be getting snuffed out, I start thinking about my chances for sunset. Are we going to get colour in the sky, basically? So that's kind of what I'm banking on now. You can see I'm set up here now. I stuck the 16 to 35mm lens on, and I'm zoomed in at about 28mm. As you can see there as well, I'm in portrait dimension. So it's just a waiting game now. It's still about 15-20 minutes till the sunset, but I am just going to wait and see if anything happens with that sky, if we get any action up there, if we get any colour. If we do, then it doesn't really matter about the light because we're still going to capture the beautiful colours in the sky, and of course we're still going to capture some beautiful reflections in the sand as well, because all that thin layer of water is all still here. So yeah, just a waiting game for now. Fingers crossed we get some action up there. Right, so nothing's really happened with the light, to be honest. The clouds have just snuffed out. It's snuffed out the light, and they've snuffed out the sunset as well. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but I did manage to bag a couple of shots before when it turns out the light was actually at its peak. So I'm happy with that. And one thing that I do like about the shot is that it's a sort of image that you could get at any beach, really, anywhere in the world. You know, it's not got any beautiful rock formations in the foreground. It's basically just sticking the camera in portrait dimension, facing it towards the beautiful light, and using the beach and the reflections as the subject in themselves. So yeah, I do quite like that, and I suppose this has been a little bit different from my normal adventures in the sense that it hasn't been just epicness. You know, a couple of weeks ago I was up in the Scottish Highlands and it was just incredible. But I think that's one thing that I really want to get across on this YouTube channel. And you know, landscape photography is not always about epicness. It is where my passion lies, but I think on an evening like this you get completely different emotions from your landscape photography, and I think that's a good thing, you know, that it can give you so many different things, so many different emotions. It is absolutely fantastic, and yeah, it's not always about that epicness. You know, this evening has been a really good example of how you can come out with no pressure and just relax, chill out, enjoy your photography for what it is, take your time, you know, be in a completely different landscape to what you might normally be in. And yeah, perhaps I'm waffling on a little bit, but that's something I definitely do believe. And with that being said, I'm gonna end the video there. I'll pop this abstract image up for you guys to see, if you want to call it that, and I really do hope you've enjoyed this adventure. Again, something a little bit different from me. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.